What's going on, my PT peeps and Walking Dead family, my fighters? I'm One Eyebrow, also known as PT. Don't know if I'm winking or blinking, but I'm definitely thinking about Fear the Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 8 in particular. Spoiler warning, major spoiler warning for Season 6, Episode 8. So you've been warned. But we're going to talk about John Dorie, his death, what the actor, the showrunners, everybody said about John Dorie's death. And spoiler alert, it was in the writing. It wasn't John Dorie, Garrett Dillahunt's doing. But hit that subscribe button for all things Walking Dead. Become a valued member of our PT channel, Walking Dead family today. But like I said, Season 6, Episode 8 was a good episode. It was a memorable episode because we lost a fan favorite, John Dorie. And some people liked him, some people loved him, some people hate him. But the death is to further progress June's character. It's basically like Glenn's death on The Walking Dead for Maggie. But per Talking Dead, Garrett Dillahunt talked about it that he knew this was going to happen for some time. And when COVID started, they were shooting this episode. So they couldn't finish the episode, so they had to do their scenes, shut down, wait till October of the same year, then get back to filming and finish the episode. But per TW Universe spoilers and a couple of different interviews in a couple of different places, they put it together here. We're going to talk about, John Dorie, Garrett Dillahunt, finding out the actor who played John was disappointed in the death of his character. When we told him this would be his way out, he was disappointed, and I think heartbreak the same way we did. But he also understood that this was the right thing for the character and the right thing to show it at the right time, or time right. Again, some things are lost in translation. We were planning that this would be John Dorie's departure at the beginning of Season 6. Co-showrunner Andrew Chambliss told Insider about how long they mapped out the character's death. We were really looking for a cost, both emotional and practical, that came out of Virginia's kind of reign over all of our characters, and wanted a loss that really hurt, that would hurt as many characters as possible, hurt the audience, and honestly hurt us, Chambliss continued. When we put everything out and everything pointed to John Dorie, we had that moment of, oh no, we don't want to do that, but it's right for history. It's what's right for the show, Chambliss added. Fear the Walking Dead showrunners told Insider that Dillahunt's departure from the series was a story decision rather than an actor's request to be killed. When asked about what the conversation was like with Dillahunt when they revealed he would be killed in the show, co-showrunner Ian Goldberg said the actor really responded to the narrative they were doing in Season 6. I think Garrett, on his own, really likes to get into the darkest corners of the characters he plays. That's something we hadn't seen much of John Dorie in Seasons 4 and 5. He is one of the most hopeful, brilliant, and optimistic characters on the show, Goldberg said. So they're right. I mean, it hurt the show, it hurt the fans, but I think it's the right decision for the show to really drive things going forward against Virginia and Dakota. It just sucks that John had to die, but I kind of understand it better now. But it wasn't the actor's decision, it was the writer's decision. I know there's been a lot of speculation, rumors going around about that, but that's what they said right there. It's a little of those two things Garrett said of John's death by the script and asking him to leave. And here's an article by Entertainment Weekly, an interview. So how long has this premature death of John Dorie been underway? Garrett Dillahunt answered, I don't remember exactly when, but it's something we've been talking about since Season 5. And then we had a lot of talks between 5 and 6 about how John would get out. And they had this great idea, great, tragic, wonderful, and true in this world, and how to get him out of the show and at the same time boost the story ahead. You said you were talking about it during Season 5. I remember during Season 4 when Frank Delane wanted to go ahead and leave the show, so they worked it out in the story. Other times it's a creative decision of history that closes someone's mandate. So what was the backstory in terms of you and your character leaving the show? Well, I don't think it's a secret or anything. It's a little of those two things. I loved my time at this show and will always cherish it. I get a little impatient after a while. I'm not a kid anymore, and I have a few things I like to do, and I'm glad it worked. I can't imagine what happens in the logistics planning of these series. There are so many moving parts, so many people involved. It's a near engineering feat for the showrunners and Scott Gimple, and for the writers navigating through all obstacles in general. Putting a TV show on the air, not to mention the needs of its actors. I'm just very happy that they are willing to listen and consider it, and then have a great idea that made everyone happy. Many people die in the world of The Walking Dead, but not all get zombie treatment. You did. Hal was filming this scene. We had filmed most of 608 pre-pandemic. It was the episode we were filming when we were closed. Only 2 days left to finish, and what we should be that portion crawling out of the river and June lovingly putting John out of his misery and preserving his memory. So we filmed this in October, I guess somewhere out there in late fall after they reopened things up a bit. So it's been over a year since we've had to take care of this secret. So I'm going to be pretty relieved when the thing airs, and then I can move on and everyone else can move on too and enjoy the second half of season 6 onwards with this great cast and group of people. So it kind of sounds like it's a little bit of both. It was a script decision, his decision. But either way, it's done. John's gone, and it makes sense for the story to have an impactful death. Meeting John in season 4, episode 1, along with Morgan, really changed the dynamics of the show. And if you think about it, John and Morgan joined the show at the same time, and now we just lost John. So we have Althea and Morgan, and the show is pretty different from where it started, even as of season 4. It sounds like the Frank Delane thing, because he wanted to leave, so a lot of people thought the same thing about Garrett. And the writers basically copied the same death. Different, circumstances, different story, but it's very similar. And it's just a little too similar for a lot of people. But either way, John's gone. Dakota killed him. And we'll have to see what happens for Dakota. But Dakota needs to look at the flowers, that's for sure. But that's the best explanation I have. Well, I could find. And I guess it doesn't really matter because it's done. And the writers decided to do that. The actor was okay with it. And John Dory will live on through the other characters. And I just hope Virginia and Dakota are taken out by June. June is going to be a different character after this. I think a lot of characters will be, especially Morgan and June. We'll have to see how it goes down. It really is going to be a similar thing, like I said before, about Glenn's death for Maggie, setting the tone there for June. But thank you guys. Let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below. Stay safe. And as always, tell them Daryl.